how did you both start in the VW Audi industry, and what drove you to want to stay in it?
Yeah, I think you should tee that one up first.
Okay. Well, I was like a Volkswagen Audi fanatic, like in college. And so I got a business degree with a marketing emphasis. And when I graduated, my dad wanted me to go interview with like Intel and Silicon Valley type companies. And I was like, I want to do car stuff.
Nice.
And so I applied and got hired to this company in Gilroy, which at the time was Overland Parts. And then when I was there in my role, I pitched and we launched a performance brand called Eurospec Sport.
Nice.
And Eurospec Sport got pretty big. I ended up leaving there to go work for a company called New Dimensions, which was very much like a Volkswagen Audi tuner shop, very popular in the 90s. And so the Eurospec brand actually did quite well after I left. And then when I started 034 Motorsport, like 5-6 years later, we became the biggest distributor of Eurospec Sport parts because they were like my products.
Full
my
circle,
ideas.
yeah, that's cool.
So and they weren't doing a good job with it. So I was like, I started positioning and marketing the products, and we did really well with it. Unfortunately, the owner died about 10 years ago, and they sold it all. So.
Yeah,
but that's how I got into it, and I stay in it because I love it. I still love cars. I love building and creating things. I love seeing our parts on our customers' cars. I like seeing. We were at the Laguna Seca last weekend, and it's like 20 cars out there lap after lap with all the products and ideas that me and the team here have come up with and built, and so it's a very rewarding thing. And at this point, I mean, I'm a VAG industry diehard.
Yeah, there's no getting out for you. You're
probably not very applicable in any other. I'm like kind of ruined at this point. The rest of the world has moved on.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, mine's, I love hearing people's stories on how they got into Volkswagens. And one of my favorite things about the brand is that every single person, for the most part, has some kind of VW story. Like,
sure.
My aunt drove a Beetle to high school. Like, my grandparents had a bus that they drove the family around the country. My story is not quite as cool or glamorous. I went to tech school. I had the opportunity to train with a manufacturer, VW, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Porsche. And I chose Volkswagen purely because they had the most cars on the road at the time.
Yeah.
They had the most dealerships in the country. So I felt like my opportunity would just be the broadest there. And it wasn't really until working at the dealer for some years where it sort of seeped into, my everyday culture. And I did love that they had heated cloth seats. And I loved the Mark IV late cabrio indigo blue cluster lights. So, niche things like that. Mm-hmm. And then now it's just probably very similar to you. It's just, it's what I do all day, every day. So I'm not going to do something else.
Right.